Welcome everyone to this edition of Hawking Alpha's Where's Your Stop? Today we're going to be talking about treasuries. In the Hawking perspective, we brought up a few different news announcements that were basically speculating on what was going to happen with yields and treasuries and bonds of that nature. And today we just really want to discuss, essentially a unique product that really just kind of caught our eye and gives a unique perspective in terms of being able to trade, and that is the PLW. It's the PowerShares 1 through 30 year laddered treasury. And so it kind of gives you this broad time frame view all the way from short term to long term. And so you kind of get this very interesting perspective whenever you look at it from a longer term perspective, so to say. So obviously, been definitely some long-term trends that were happening in 2011 and 2012, and then all of a sudden at the end of 2012 that ended, and there was a nice just long-term trade almost for a complete year, a little bit longer than a year, and then all of a sudden the very beginning of 2014 that bias switched and we ended up getting long in there. And this is pretty contrary to what everybody was saying. Everybody was saying pretty much the exact opposite, and yet price was basically begging to differ. And so, what we saw is, all throughout 2014, we've had this very shallow move up, and then bam, in the recent scare of October in 2014, you really saw a spike across all time frames in terms of yearly measures. And so, where we go from here, we've been definitely moving up. You can tell because of this sideways action right in here. It took a very long time before our stop ever moved up, and then once it did, once again, very long time, and then boom, that subsequent action, that volatility caused us to play catch up in terms of our stop and really get above there. So, where we go from here, obviously is it's going to be anybody's guess. Maybe the world is fine and things are okay, or maybe they're not, and the world's going to definitely seek safety. Whether they seek it in gold or treasuries or the dollar, we don't know. We don't know the ramifications of that, but it'll be definitely interesting to see what plays out. And we surely know that right now the trend in the PLW across the different yield dates is definitely to the upside as of now. And we can see that essentially this very, very tight consolidation action right in here is definitely the market deciding what it's going to do, and this is very reminiscent of what's going on in the marketplace right now. So obviously we can tell that, hey, whenever this market decides to essentially break out of either the upside or the downside from here, probably that's going to give a nice short-term indication, but long-term, definitely staying outside of the noise and letting this guy have the room to run with wherever the investors of the world decide to seek for safety. Alright guys, to beating random, staying outside the noise, we enjoyed your questions this week on treasuries and everybody asking us what our opinion was, and this was a common one that came up. So don't hesitate to hit us out, and we look forward to talking with you next week.